What is going on, YouTube? PPS back here. It is our special Saturday edition of Pass the Prop. My fault on having to move it a little bit here to a new location. We are literally up north. We are think of how to describe this to you. We're like 20 minutes north of Lambeau Field right now, out on the lake out here. But obviously, what comes first, we got to make sure we get past the prop in. Doesn't matter where we are, how we do it, but we find a way. Monotone, how we doing? I know we haven't talked in two and a half days, which is different. But how you been?
Yeah, no, I've been doing good. Obviously, it's been fun. I feel a little bit bad that you're in the witness protection program right now. We have to conceal your identity for a little bit, but that's okay. Like you said, we still got past the prop going. We had a very nice show last time, so we had to keep the momentum going today. Pretty nice Saturday slate. I'm going to see the Nats game later today, so let's get some winners today, right? I'm excited.
Yeah, no doubt. Everything was very, very good last week. In our last show, I think we ended up sweeping our 4 plays. Dansby comes through and Braves nice chunk of change on Austin Riley. In my DraftKings lineup, he did fantastic. And also you had Daza and Bogarts. I believe that was a first inning cash on both, correct?
Oh, yeah. Dansby, too. Dansby had that nice first inning single, too. It was nice. Just going well. Hit parlays are going well.
Beautiful. And I had one of the craziest comebacks in MLB history here and in this bet. Zach Gallen hits 4 of the first 7 batters of the game, and then at 42 pitches going into the 3rd inning and finds a way to get through. He ended up making it through 7, which is the craziest part. He went 7 innings, 7 Ks, and Shane McClanahan comes through for our big play of the day, 7th strikeout, obviously over Aaron Judge, who took him yard earlier in that game. And everything that I talked about with McClanahan came to fruition. 3 or 4 homers allowed and just mowed down every other batter. So it was cool to watch that. Like, obviously, when you predict something to come, and it does. So I did have a home run prop on Judge, which was kind of fun to cash in on that, and my biggest play of the day there. So let's get rolling right away. I will bring it right on over to you for your first play of the day. Obviously, rolling with our hit parlays. Again, I will let you roll with your smallest play of the day here first, and we'll kick it over to you.
Yeah, we're starting out with a Rosarena to get a hit, and then Jeffrey Springs to strike out 4 batters. Right here's the same game parlay over on DraftKings right now, -115. A Rosarena leg is pretty simple. I mean, he's been playing pretty well of late, but he's not traditionally, right, the biggest power hitter in the world or anything like that. But against Brandish, he has a nice 2-for-3, 2 home run history. When you see a guy that doesn't hit 30 home runs a year, and he's got 2 home runs in his 3 plate appearances against a pitcher, it's always a pretty good sign that this is a guy that's going to have some success. He sees the ball pretty well coming out of Brandish's arm. And Brandish is a guy that I like to fade a lot, right? The whole Orioles pitching staff is a little, up and down, back and forth. But Brandish is a guy that definitely allows the long ball, allows a ton of hits. So I like that, fading him in that matchup. Spring is a good matchup. Baltimore strikes out the second most versus left-handed pitching this year. He has 5+ strikeouts in his last 5 games, and I think this line mostly just comes down to the fact that they haven't adjusted for the fact that he's pitching 5 innings now instead of 2, 3, 4 like he was at the beginning of the season. Right now that he's finally been extended out, he's pitched 5 innings in 5 straight games, and guess what? 5 strikeouts in 5 straight games. So like the same game parlay over on DraftKings, -115. I think it's pretty good value.
Yeah, no, you took the words right out of my mouth there. The biggest thing for Springs, I thought, was just the pitch count, right? They had him on a low roll for a while, but 92 and 94 pitches his last 2 outings. Really like to see that are giving him that extra bit of leash there, because usually the Rays are not the team to do that, right? The Rays are the team that if you're struggling, you're coming out because our bullpen is unbelievable, right? Now you have a guy here that they're going to let roll a little longer. And obviously, I really like that spot for them. First play for me is going to be a plus money spot for me. I'm going to a line that is pretty high. I will give it that. But I like this Boston St. Louis game quite a bit. Over 5.5 first 5 plus 105. Boston number 3 in the MLB at home hitting. St. Louis is actually one of the best away hitting teams in the MLB as well. Going to Fenway Park, about 75 degrees there. It's going to be Dakota Hudson facing off against Cutter Crawford. And Dakota Hudson does not miss bats, right? Third percentile in chase rate, third percentile in whiff rate, sixth percentile in K rate. And you have a team here coming in with the Boston Red Sox who absolutely swing for the fence every time they swing, right? You go up there, you see Devers, he is taking daddy hacks every time he's up there. You even look at Bogarts, he's swinging hard, obviously going to pepper the monster today. Dakota Hudson is also a reverse splits guy, 50 points higher to right-handed bats versus left-handed bats. And obviously this Red Sox lineup is full of those right-handed power bats there. Obviously you got JD Martinez having an MVP type season here. Only thing that I wish is just Kike Hernandez being off the DL. It kind of sucks that he's still there. I think he's had a couple days left, but I think this offense is more than capable. And going to the other side, you have Goldschmidt, you have Arenado, both obviously playing extremely well, facing off against Cutter Crawford. Allowing a 300 batting average on his fastball, a 300 batting average on his cutter, and he throws those two pitches at 76% of what he throws. So obviously getting hit very hard with those two pitches. And I don't think anything is going to be any different here. Obviously got the short porch everywhere. So sign me up for the Boston St. Louis game over 5.5, plus 105. This I think is starting at 5. I just bought it up because I'm not playing for a push. We're playing for a W here. We're going for it. Give me that plus money spot.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I got burned on Hudson. I had his first 5 under a little while back, and I had to watch him just brutally get crushed. Yep. So that was definitely not fun. Never going to argue with you right here against, fading or going and bats. I'm always, team Boston this year. Those dudes are crushing the ball. And like you said, St. Louis has that nice road offense. At plus 105, 6 runs, definitely going to be telling you on this one. Let's get some offense going.
Beautiful. And I see you're repping your hat there. And let's just go right on into it with Taylor Fade, our Pikkit sponsored spot here. Our Taylor Fade play number 1. We're going to be heading to that game with the Philadelphia Phillies facing off against Monotone's Washington Nationals. Obviously a decent matchup on the hill. If you look at the year-long stats and Josiah Gray versus Aaron Nola, any thought here? You're obviously the Nationals guy. Is there any thought here on if we can keep this game close on the National side?
Yeah, so I've faded the Nationals in about 5 straight days, dating back to that Brewers game. I bet against them every single day. Yeah. I do have a very important statistic, though. At games that I attend with Josiah Gray on the mound, we are 1-0. I think that's pretty important to take into account right here. It's going to be the Nationals' first sold-out crowd of the season with Ryan Zimmerman retirement day. I'm taking the Nationals plus 1.5 right here. I'm not betting against my team today. Fuck no. Fade. That's my pick.
I wish they gave me the over. I think the over has some life here. Both bullpens got destroyed yesterday in that extra inning affair. I will be talking about this game in a little bit here. I'm just going to go – dude, I was planning on tailing this, but now that you told me you're going, I'm going to have to fade it just because I feel like if anything comes close to it, even if the last out comes out there, you're just going to see Monotone throw a beer at the guy to make him fall over and drop it like that Buffalo Wild Wings commercial. And I feel like we're just going to see that the Phillies find a way to blow that 2-run lead in the 9th inning to get you to lose by 1. So I will fade this one as well. I'll be riding with the Nationals plus 1.5 here. And a little bit more well-known team here, a more bet-on team, probably the most bet-on team in the MLB this year for Taylor Fade number 2, heading over to the New York Yankees, facing off against Toronto. Great pitching matchup here. Actually, more of the Blue Jays have a great pitcher on the mound in Alek Manoah, and I believe it is Tyone on the other side, if I remember correctly. I will be fading this one. I think that even at that plus money, I will ride with a guy in Manoah who has had success against the Yankees so far in his career. Got good stuff. And obviously, the Blue Jays are just as big of a buzzsaw. I think they have a better offense than the Yankees, to be honest. It's just, I mean, imagine how many home runs the Blue Jays would hit if they played in Yankee Stadium for every home game. They'd probably have like 300 by now. I mean, Vlad Guerrero Jr.'s little pop-ups would be getting out of that yard. So I will be fading this one. I will be fading both today, which I kind of like to do.
Yeah, no, you actually took the words right out of my mouth. I'm gonna back Manoah right here. I might even have to look into his strikeouts. I remember earlier in the season looking at it, he has great career strikeout numbers versus the Yankees. This is not a guy that's going, into Yankee Stadium scared or anything like that. He's a young pitcher, but obviously very confident, has some of the best stuff in the league. So I'm with you right here completely. I'm fading the Yankees also. Let's go. Let's mix it up a little bit today.
Yeah, I know we've had too many of these shows with double tails. We got to switch it back to being back on the fade train here. So I am very happy to be on both fade spots for today. Um, Dan, so early. I get it. I know we got to get it done, though. We got to make sure we get these plays out to you guys, especially coming off a sweep. Maybe if we would have got reverse swept last show, we would have skipped this one. But when you come off of that, I think it's four straight shows with winners here. Um, we got to keep that train rolling here. Thank you for popping in here, Jake. I am very excited to finish off the show. We got one play left, a piece here, and we will go to a plus money spot for you, Monotone, and guys that have been pretty reliable this year.
Yeah, Miguel Cabrera and Yordan Alvarez to both record a hit. It's plus 100 over on FanDuel. I can see the odds getting a little bit better too across the day just because nobody's betting on Miguel Cabrera anymore, but that's fine. The guy's doing exactly what I like to do for hitters. He's not hitting bombs anymore. He's 39 years old. He's slapping singles, using every single part of the field. You can't really play him too, strictly either way. He'll just take what the pitcher gives him, right? He's a great hitter, just a great natural hitter. Love supporting Miguel Cabrera. He's hitting 293 on the season, but against left-handed pitching, that goes up to 340 this year. Obviously, very, very comfortable against left-handed pitching. Coming in with one hit in, I believe, 11 of his last 14 games. Very consistent, and he's hitting like over 300 over his last 30 games. Miguel Cabrera is just the definition of consistent. I like this matchup right here going against left-handed pitching. Gonna lock him in today. Might even have to double dip with him a little bit later too. As for Yordan Alvarez, he's still playing at an insane level right now, right? He's 467 in the month of June. He had that game where me and the rest of gambling Twitter were on him and he got walked like 3 times. So maybe that's why all the hype died down. But then he followed that up with a hit in his next game. He's just been extremely, extremely consistent throughout the season. I'm always going to play Yordan when he's not going against a left-handed pitcher, right? That's when that average goes way down. When we get a right-handed pitcher, he's over 340 this season. Both of these guys have great splits against their pitcher. I think this is pretty simple. Getting this at plus 100 is something I'm very happy with, taking that one to the bank.
Yordan Alvarez has over a 60% hard hit rate. That's all you need to know. This dude, anytime he makes contact, the ball is exploding off the bats. It is very hard to not want to back him. And I'll ride with you on Miggy here, too. I like this at plus money. Finding a way to get any part of Yordan Alvarez, I will be signed up for here, especially during this run that he's on. I mean, nobody's really on that level right now. I mean, even you look at Judge, he's cooled down a bit. Vladdy, right, he's slowed down a little bit here. But Yordan, man, number one, man, in hard hit rate this year. Usually that goes to Vladdy Jr., but I will be riding with this one. I really like this spot, and I will be heading back to the Washington Nationals game, and I'm going to the Phillies' first 5 team total, over 2.5. I'm rolling against Josiah Gray, 7.3 ERA at home this year. I know that you are a Josiah Gray truther. I am not going to be on that train. I will be fading him here. Obviously, the Phillies are top 5 in road hitting so far this season, which I was very surprised to see. And Josiah Gray is going to be facing off against a lot of power here. Of a struggle he's really had so far this season, giving up the long ball. Right, I think he's given up 14 home runs in 61 innings. So not something that I really want to get away from. And I'll sign that up here. Give me a first 5 team total over for the Phillies.
Yeah, no, I played this at 3.5 yesterday in the morning game against the doubleheader, so I definitely understand where you're coming from. Nats Ballpark is playing small right now. It is hot, and like you said, Gray has historically given up the long ball. I don't know if you remember when they let you bet home runs allowed last season. That was like the only MLB bet I was making. I wasn't even really watching the games, but Gray was just giving up a bomb every single game. That has continued to this season. It's a tough matchup. That Phillies lineup is very hot right now. Definitely can't argue with you getting this one at 2.5, especially when I just played at 3.5 yesterday. This team is hot. It's a better pitcher on the mound, but like you said, his biggest weakness is really those, fly balls, and that's what the Phillies are going to go up there and do. They're swinging for the fences, and if Nat Park keeps playing this small, then there could be a lot of runs in this game.
Yeah, reminds me of the Shane McClanahan spot, right, where he's probably gonna get to his strikeouts, just gonna give up a ton of power to get there. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 or 3 homers in the first 5 innings. It's gone over this number in 3 of his last 4. The one that he did hit was against the Marlins, so obviously that's a little bit of a step down in offensive tier. But yeah, I really, really like the spot for the Phillies. But I expect a high-scoring affair. I am not a huge Aaron Nola guy, and do not expect anything there to really blow me away. Paul, yes, I will actually be putting up the stuff right now to make sure you guys see what we got rolling here on the show for plays. It should be popping up on the bottom as of right now. But yeah, so he will be on Jeffrey Springs with the 4K option there as that buy down option to get you a little bit better price. I will pop this over to you, Monotone. Do you have any thoughts on Verlander today? The strikeout prop at 5. I also like it because the White Sox are like the second worst WRC plus versus righties this season. Obviously, crushed lefties, number 1 in the MLB, but I cannot be on that. I cannot be on that fade train of Verlander here.
Yeah, 5 is a really low number. I mean, that's Verlander's like consistent. Like I played it at 6 like a couple games ago, and I was looking through. He has like 5+ in almost every single outing this year. So if you're getting that at a relatively good price, exactly what you said a second ago with the White Sox. I mean, they crush lefties, but not every pitcher in the MLB is left-handed, right? So they're going to need to figure that out. I'm with you. I agree. If you're getting this at plus 100, something like that, that's pretty solid. That's definitely pretty solid.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, let's get to our recap here and get you guys on your way. Obviously, we have all the plays on the bottom there. You can see what we got coming off a sweep. Let's go for another one here. I will get Monotone's plays coming at you right now as we recap this spot for Saturday's MLB slate here.
Yep, just like brought up a second ago, we got Springs 4 strikeouts. I paired that with the Rosarena to get a hit, 2 for 3 against Brandish, 2 bombs right here. But I do like the Springs leg a lot, so I'm glad we got asked about that. I think he's going to have a good game today. And then classic Miguel Cabrera right here, the legend, and Yordan Alvarez, up and coming, the young up and comer, both to get a hit right here, plus 100. Very much liking the odds right here. Taylor fading the Yankees completely, and I'll be at Nationals ballpark, so I will be fading the Phillies in person today.
Beautiful. Fading for me on the Phillies 1.5. Fading for me on the Yankees. I'll be rolling with the Phillies first 5 team total over 2.5 at minus 110, and the Boston over at 5.5 plus 105. Monotone, before we head out today on this weekend show, our first Saturday show in a while, I think ever, maybe during NFL season once. For the people here, obviously got a ton of action across all sports. Got a full UFC card tonight. Got everything. What do you got for the people?
Yeah, if you guys want more from us, we're both over on Twitter. I'm about 20-ish followers away from 20K, so that would obviously be pretty cool. Also, both of us are on the Pikkit Sports app. You can find us both there. That's where we get our Taylor fades from, the most popular picks every day. It's a bet tracker. We both post additional bets over there. Sometimes you get some pictures of our dogs. It's really the whole package over on Pikkit. So if you guys want to go sign up, completely free app. Catch us over there. Code PTP. That's past the prop. Yeah, come check us out. Follow us both over there. It's been pretty fun.
Yeah, go get that free money. I mean, you can't really argue with that, right? So, yeah, we're on a nice little run here on the show. I'm very excited to continue that. YouTube's been good to us. And hopefully we'll be able to come out with a couple more winners for you guys. So just hit that 20-minute mark. We're right on that perfect schedule. So remember, guys, obviously all the plays are below if you want them. Make sure you follow us over on Twitter at the links in the description there. And let's catch some more plays. I think we're feeling pretty good about where we're at here, and let's continue to keep killing it. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day and have a good weekend. Peace. If I can get this off.